right, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Are we in the building? What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. We are live, I think. I think we're live, baby. I think we're live. What's up? What's up? I think we're good. Man, what is the goings on, people? What is the goings on? What is the happenings? Chat in the place. What's up for my moderators, Buck Bewley, Ebony, and Black Mamba in the building? Thank y'all. Man, what is happening? Everything's shut down, Johnson. I'm trying to keep the show running. Everything else is shut down. Yo, what's going on, man? What's up with my Tim Black Wolfpack in the house? S-Biz in the building. What's up, S? What's happening? What's up, Stu Man? Stumani? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. She cooks and she roasts in the building, as well as Mahalia Naturals in the house. What is going on? The one who cares. The one who cares came through. Thank you, sister. Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Zen Soulful. What's up, Zen? MSMM. Mr. 1982 in the building. What's up, fam? The one and only Black Rose. Money. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Honey. What's up, Honey? How you doing? Honey-o. All right now. Don't tell me now. Mrs. Black may be watching. Call no woman. I don't kind of call a woman honey. What's going on, people? How y'all feeling, man? Everybody good? If you're new to the show, this is a Tim Black Show. We are U.S. politics based. We do black culture and we do breaking news as well. So that's what the show is. I either riff on the current news events or I just play clips and react and give commentary and punch them in the mouth. Tim Black style. We've been doing this since 2012, 2013-ish. We've had a lot of success in this genre. We love it. We feel like we're doing the Lord's work as we speak truth to power, man. Tell a friend. Telegram, tell a friend. We do this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here. We're live on X, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and soon to be starting a Kick page because it's free. And there might be one or two people on Kick that will get a kick out of me kicking the Democrats and punching the Republicans. So this is a good thing we got going here, people. We're in live HD, baby. We're in HD. That's dope. My coffee's in the way. Here we go. A little bit better view here. So we got some content we'd like to get to tonight. What's on the minds of the people, man? Anybody got anything that happened, anything that they've noticed that they want to like table, you want to submit it? You want to type it up for me here? Put it in the comments section. Let me know, is there something happening? You know, anything happening that you wanted me to cover? What's up, Willie Mays? Buck says, we sound good. Thanks, Buck. C Miles in the building. What's up, C? How you doing? And if I miss anything, you know what I'm saying? Like if there's a topic, you know, because I try to find the stories that are most relevant, but only you know what you're really interested in. So if you see something that I may have missed, don't hesitate to send it over. I caught a couple stories today I thought were crazy. I got to report on this. So I got some content for you. Trust that. I got some stuff to report to you. But, just put it out there. Super chats do work. But them progressives, man. Boy, those progressives, man. You guys have no idea. It's like the conservatives and the progressives, woo, They really into politics, man. Man, they get excited, you know, they get serious. I don't know. What kind of group do I have here? What watching tonight? What are there? You consider yourself conservative or progressive or liberal or unaffiliated? Just whatever. Like, you know, that'd be good to know. We're trying to get the word out about the live stream. I think the live stream, unfortunately, I feel like the live stream, we have one of the better live stream shows because I don't pull punches. And I'm not trying to make you feel any kind of way about any particular, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make you a Republican. I'm not trying to make you a Democrat. I'm not scared of the Republicans. I'm not scared of the Democrats. So I think that makes us very unique in the space. Some people got dreams. They think they're going to go be on CNN, or they got dreams. They think they're going to go be a Fox News anchor. I don't dream like that. All I want to do is keep doing what I'm doing, do the best job I can do, and let the chips fall where they may. Maybe a radio show, maybe a Sirius XM show, something like that in the future, but none of that. I'm not going under anybody's umbrella to that extent. So that gives me the freedom. People don't realize how much freedom amounts. You got to have freedom. To be bold, you got to be freedom. You got to have freedom to be bold. Think about everything that you like, everything that set trends, everything that was hot, everything that, I remember when A Living Color came on, it was the only show like it. Nobody did it. Nobody did it like A Living Color did it. Anybody remembers growing up in the 90s, remember the A Living Color? When it came out, you stopped what you doing to go watch A Living Color. That's because one of a kind. When you're one of a kind, fam, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. And when you're, you know, and they were on network TV, so they had, you know, they had censors. They had to fight to get that content out there. Imagine what A Living Color would have been if it had no guardrails. Oh, man. Look, even with censors and guardrails, it still produced the likes of Marlon, Jamie Foxx, Marlon Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans. They were already doing their thing, but Damon Wayans, you know, like, it's still Jim Carrey. I mean, it still produced so many amazing talents, man, because when you're willing to buck the system, when you're willing to be daring and original, wow. And that just takes guts, you know? And they had a lot of great writers on that show, too. Robert Townsend wrote for him. I think Paul Mooney wrote for him. You know what I'm saying? It's power. When you have freedom, you can have power. So really, what I'm trying to tell you is, if all things were equal and all the shows came on at once and everybody had an opportunity to smell test and taste test the content that I'm putting out and the other content that's out there, I think we would rank very highly. But the problem is getting that opportunity. Getting the opportunity to be in front of people. You got to make the algorithm. So I have to somehow find a way to get my people that watch the show to let other people know about it, because I just don't know another way to do it. I mean, other than that, you know, maybe I have to shoot somebody to try to break in my house and then I make the news. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's going to take a prank. Maybe I got to run butt naked down the street or something after a burglar or something and make the news. Yeah, it's going to take crazy things. What you thought I was going to say? Take out ads? You're so 2002. And we need to shake the table, Johnson. Taking out Facebook ads. I'm talking about taking out an ice truck. What are you talking about? You need to think bigger. You're going to have to think bigger if you're going to get on the radar. We up against the brick lady. The brick face lady that was lying and shit. You know, we got to compete with the likes of her with all that talent. Man, it ain't going to be easy getting in front of these people. About to crack up human trafficking rings single-handedly in order to get the type of awareness I'm going to need to crack into the algorithm. I'm about to bring Charleston White, Anton Daniels, Nick Fuentes, all on the show at the same damn time. Coolness Owens, I'm about to have them all on the show to have a shot. To have a damn shot, Johnson. I remember that time Killer Mike came on the show. Remember that time I had Killer Mike on the show? Killer Mike got mad at me, man. He didn't like the questions I asked him, man. It was right after Killer Mike did an appearance. It was like at the civil unrest in Atlanta. And Killer Mike, what's the name? Lawrence Bottoms. You know her. Former mayor, right? She had T.I. and Killer Mike come out and tell everybody to chill out. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, there was like something going on with the cops. Cops did something that had black people livid. Black America was pissed in Atlanta. The ATL was mad. So, you know, they always have an attractive black woman as mayor, right? Come out, sad face. I want better for us. I want better for us. You know this is not right what you're doing, Black America. Then she had Killer Mike and T.I. sitting there. And I don't remember what was said. All I know is it was like, stop burning down shit. This is our shit. We own businesses here. Why you gonna burn up the businesses that we make? You know? You know what I'm saying? We try to, this is our Atlanta. Don't do this. Don't do it. Well, people was mad at Killer Mike, man. It's a Killer Mike. He worried about his money. He's worried about his money. What are you doing worried about money at a time like this? So I forget how I got it, man. I think I forget how I got hooked up with it. I think it was this dope sister, man. It was a dope sister. Damn, I feels bad because she came on the show, had her on the show, but she was an amazingly talented, gifted professional. And she was also the manager of Killer Mike. She was doing something, PR work or something. I think it was Jennifer. This is bad because Mrs. Black knows the name. This is bad. This is no disrespect. I haven't spoken to this woman in years. So it's not me omitting her name. I don't do that Hollywood shit where people pretend not to know who you are and shit. You know how people do that all the time? You could be talking about somebody that's sitting right there in front of you. Amanda Seals could be sitting right there. You'd be like, who's the lady in front? Oh, God, I have no idea what her name is. She's not relevant enough for me to know her name. No, she's sitting right there. I can't see her. You can literally reach out and touch her, bruh. Nah, doesn't ring a bell. Let me write it down and give it to you. I can't read it. Sorry. Let's move on. So this is not that. So anyway, Killer Mike came on the show, and I had to ask him. I had to ask him about the civil unrest. I had to ask him about the controversial statement that he made, you know, telling people not to tear up the city. It's tough, man. You know, you got a business, you don't want your business burnt to the ground. You know the mayor, and you also love the people. You don't want to seem like you just, you know, a sellout or nothing, but you try to say what's best and just say how you really feel and ride for the people, but you also a businessman and you also have your politics. It was dangerous. Well, turns out even asking Killer Mike about this shit, he was mad. He was mad, but I ain't had no choice, man. If you come on the show, if you come on the Timberlake show and I don't ask you the questions people want me to ask you, then we both suck. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta feed, you know what I'm saying? I gotta feed my family. I can't have you come over here and I not ask you important shit. What good is talking to you if I don't ask you the one thing people want me to ask you? This is not the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club had Candace Owens never asked her a question about, what about that 10 years where that gap there, where you shitted on black people every time you made a post? Never came up. See, that's what they want you to, I guess that's what I was expected to do. See, that's the business. But to Killer Mike's credit, fam, to his credit, I did run into him a couple years later in Ohio. We were both campaigning and supporting Senator Nina Turner. Had an opportunity to interview him again, and he wasn't care. He didn't care about that shit. I thought he was mad because he had that look on his face like, you lucky I even came here. He said something like that too. I'm a busy man. I came here. That's why I'm with you now, because I support independent media. I come around and slum it with you, you peasants every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Throw you a bone. But you know what it is. What I'm trying to tell you is I had my shots. Yeah, I had my shots. Johnson. I just didn't take them. I had opportunities, man. I had Killer Mike on the show. You would think I would have been viral, you know what I'm saying? But, it was like when I had people like Killer Mike on the show, and that's a viral moment, asking them about a civil unrest in the state of Atlanta, you would have thought that would go viral, but, yeah, progressive community didn't give a shit. Nah, they didn't care. Yeah. They didn't care about that. They didn't care about him. They didn't care about the topic. It was concerned black people, and that's divisive. Yeah, pretty much anything that impacts black America is divisive. Now, if it would have impacted the immigrants, whoa, mama, look out. Whoa, oh my God. If a documented person would have got a hangnail, oh, it would have been everywhere. I'd have been on the Katie Phillips show, the Abby Phillips show, the Katie Hopper show, Majority Report, TNT, TYT, TWA. I'd have been everywhere, baby. Shit. I'd have been everywhere. But I kept trying to cover black shit. Kept doing it like a dummy. And I'm saying it's my fault, man, because I had my opportunities. Remember when I had Donna Brazile come on the show? I asked her about that question that she passed to Roland Martin, to passing Hillary, that shit. I'm the only person that ever asked her about that shit. And you would have thought that would have went viral. Instead, I had plants and ops.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe
there were
people
plants
don't
and
understand
ops.
the definitions of these words.
And they said he wasn't mean enough to her. Yeah, it wasn't enough that I asked about the most controversial moment that cost Roland Martin his fucking job at CNN. That wasn't enough. I even asked her about that horrible third rail topic about that young staffer at the DNC who was killed in D.C. I even asked her that and followed up. Asked her 4 questions on that topic. You would have thought that would be amazing. I'm going to go super viral. People are going to be like, wow. And a black independent show at that with a 2-time DNC chair. Man, I don't mean no harm, man. I mean, a lot of these channels are not about interviewing people and having guests like that on their show. TNC chair, dog, that's hard to surpass that. I mean, how much higher in the Democratic Party can you get if you interviewing the DNC chair and asking her an uncomfortable question? I asked her so many uncomfortable questions, she started playing the woman card on my ass. She was like, Tim, I answered the question. That's all you're going to get, baby. Yeah, man. A lot of people was mad at me. It was like, Tim, you should have did a better job with Donna Brazile. I'm like, motherfucker, do you know who she is? They just look at a black woman and they totally omit all of her qualifications. Donna Brazile is an expert communicator, an expert politician. Politicians go to her. Candidates are sent to her to train them to interact with the media. She's been doing media longer than a lot of people, almost as long as I've been alive at that time. That's like 5 years ago. And they're like, why didn't you just take her down? Why couldn't you just, what? I don't know, because she beat the shit out of Al Gore and Hillary and everybody. Like she's really good at her job. I didn't go to school for interviewing DNC chairs. You know, she came from like Alabama, the sticks of Alabama, to become DNC chair not once but twice. And you're like, why didn't you get her, Tim? Why didn't you destroy her? First of all, it's not my job to destroy her. But see, this is how the progressives were. And once again, I had my opportunities. Yeah, as I look back over my long story career here on the Tim Black Show, if you're new to the channel, I must admit I had opportunities. Not like I didn't have opportunities. It's just you need a push. You need a push behind you. And even when you get an opportunity, right, lots of times it requires you to do something that you don't want to do. Like, if I would have been nice to Donna Brazile, I would have got the hookup from the DNC. If I'd have played ball and been like, so let's help you recruit more Democrats. Instead, I was stuck on trying to expose the Democrats. See, that was dumb. Had an opportunity, fucked it up. And then I wasn't mean enough. I should have cursed her out, made her so mad, she hung up, disconnected her modem, and ran out of there. Instead, I was good at what I was trying to do, but you got to go one of those ways. You got to go extreme. You got to be either Charleston White or you got to be Roland Martin. You cannot be. So anyway, when the books are open, when you look at this back over, whenever I keel over and you look back at my life in media, because I had a whole job before this shit. He had a shot, but he was too dumb. Not dumb. Just didn't want to, didn't want to give in to the way they think that, things what you have to do. The things you have to do. It's tough, Johnson. It's tough. Like right now, what's going on with this government shutdown? Horrific thing going on with the government shutdown. Horrible, okay? Not the longest government shutdown. Give it one more day and it'll be tied for the longest government shutdown. It'll be 35 days, and that'll make it tied with the longest shutdown. And that longest shutdown was December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019. And that was a dispute over what? Funding the border wall. That's what that was about. So the current, we're at 34 days, and it's ongoing. Since October 1st, they have budget disagreements, spending bill, amid debt ceiling, and election year politics. Yep. So I know you're wondering, Tim, what's the real ramifications? What's the repercussions? Because people are talking about it, but I want to understand why it's so detrimental. 800,000 people have been furloughed. Damn near a million people. And not to mention the ripple out from that, because you got to imagine, when you take that many people out of the workforce, they're not buying lunch, they're not getting the dry cleaning done, they're not driving their cars, they're not even their cars serviced. They're not doing all the things they used to do, so there's ramifications beyond the ramifications that are obvious. We got GDP output losses. We got a labor market strain. So 800,000 federal workers, but remember, 1.4 million contractors are out of work. No one talks about them. That's what I was. I was a government contractor. I'd have been out of work. I'd have been selling plasma at this point. A prolonged shutdown could delay Federal Reserve interest rate cuts as uncertainty clouds inflation data. Broader market impacts. Stock markets have seen volatility with shutdown fears, contributing to a 1 to 2% dip in major indices last week. So we got federal service disruptions, national parks, Smithsonian museums, passports, visas, processing, food inspections, FDA, USDA, pause for non-critical items, raising contamination risk. We got military veterans, 2 million active duty troops and reservists missed their October paychecks. Oh, God. We done pissed off the people with the guns. We done pissed off the armed services, fam. What are we thinking? Democrats and Republicans better figure this shit out. Last people you want to piss off are people that are trained to kill. Everybody keep talking about people on snap. You better talk about people that might snap. I got some snap for your ass. It's called Marines without their money. What about that? See, they got you focused on the wrong things. They keep showing videos of TikTok of random AI videos of black women that aren't even real. With 20 kids in a room, pissed off about the Twinkies not being there. No ramen noodles. And people are so racist, they don't even see that the people are like, morphing and shit. It's like, you can tell it's AI, dumbass. But the little geeky, bigoted, racist assholes are so pressed to put it out and get the views, and they know their audience. They know that the bigoted whites are not going to look that close. When they see a 4-year-old's head doing the wave like this, they just think, hey, man, it's a new dance. Nah, motherfucker, this is not a scene out of Scanners. This is not a scene out of Devil's Advocate. You know, when the woman's face in her, then it turned, Nah, that's not real life, man. That's special effects shit, that scary stuff where people morph. So we got food and health assistance. Programs like SNAP, food stamps, WIC, face delays in benefit issuance, potentially leaving 40 million low-income Americans short on groceries. Do you know who's most impacted by that? Because if you listen to a hack like Adam Carolla, you would think it's a bunch of obese black people. Mostly just white kids. Yeah, biggest recipient of SNAP benefits are white children. Because there's really not that many adults in the house, or you wouldn't qualify for WIC or for food stamps. Yeah, the biggest recipients of food stamps are elderly people who are living paycheck to paycheck or on their pensions, and children, dumbass. I know your racist tendencies lead you to believe welfare queens. So you can run again like Bob Dole on some bullshit with your Rush Limbaugh talking points, Bill O'Reilly talking points. Hey, by the way, who invited Bill O'Reilly to come back into mainstream society? Did this guy like harass like 20 women or some shit? Why does he get to come back and like talk like a regular person? Why is he back on his high horse? Stephen A., you got some explaining to do. Why are you and Chris Cuomo? Chris Cuomo and Stephen A. welcome this guy back with open arms. Come on over here. Come on over here, touchy Philly. Come on over here, Bill. That guy got away with all you know how many millions of dollars they paid out, Murdoch paid off to keep him out of trouble? He was hands in Weinstein. He was Weinstein level. Bill O'Reilly. Everybody acts like it didn't happen. I see him now talking and say, well, it looks like Trump is back to doing business, and the Democrats, I don't know what they're going to do, but right here on the O'Reilly factor, we're he talking like people don't know. He remind me of Cuomo. Cuomo out here running for mayor like his ass doesn't have 15,000 bodies on his rap sheet. The hell is going on with America, man? See what I'm saying? I'm the only person notice this? All right. No wonder why Bill O'Reilly's pulling for Cuomo. They're the same guy. Bunch of degenerates. But they're too white to fail. They are too white to fail. Too rich, too white. They still got money. How you gonna still have money? How? So we got state and local strain, almost that. So low-income shortage on groceries, public health efforts, including flu vaccinations, disease surveillance are halted, heightening winter outbreak risks. We got state and local strain. States are dipping into emergency funds to cover federal shortfalls, child care subsidies, environmental monitoring, with total costs exceeding $1 billion across governments. Tribal communities relying on federal aid report severe gaps in housing and health services. And then the other way in which this shutdown has impacted us, and probably the most consequential of them all, public sentiment. Yeah, man, we're already hanging on by a very short thread. Americans have had about enough of this shit. Average American is stressed out enough just trying to make bills, just trying to keep the car up, trying not to eat the cats and dogs. Boy, you know, the cats and dogs in America are very lucky. They're not a delicacy. Even though J.D. Vance, you know, in reality, they're not a delicacy, so they're safe. But what is not safe are the shelves in an Audi right now. Polls show 61% of disapproval of President Trump's handling, with 31% viewing it as a crisis. This has fueled partisan tensions, complicating partisan negotiations. So, even though it's the Democrats that voted no to continue the resolution that have kept the government open, Americans blame Trump. All that conservative media talking all that shit, and you couldn't defeat public sentiment. And I personally believe it's the Democrats who are doing it. They got nothing else to lose. You know, I think the Doge did it. Yeah, Trump got drunk off his own power. You know what I'm saying? He throwing investigations on everybody's ass. Yeah, I know, he says it's not him. Cash Patel's like, it's not him. I do what I want to do. Yeah, okay. You know as well as we do that if you don't do what Trump wants you to do, Cash, bye-bye. Because Trump, that's how Trump rolls. Am I saying something that's not true? We all know that. Trump, only thing he values is loyalty. But I think Trump got drunk off power. And he pushed the Democrats so far, it's like you can only beat someone so far for so long. He's just beating them and beating them. And just, you can only suck it. Like, a guy's down and you're stomping him and you're kicking him. And at some point, you slip, you break your hand on their face, and then they stick you. Yeah, this is just a Democrat sticking up, defensive move. Got it right under the rib cage here. Ah, what's that? The sternum? I don't even know what that is. Oh shit! They're like, oh, you gonna cut all these jobs in Doge? You're gonna bring your weird, whatever this guy is, slow boat, this mummy, Elon, this rich, weird mummy, up here to run a program in the government? No way elected this guy. What's wrong with you? You're gonna cut all these jobs? What? You're gonna audit the government with this guy? who we gave money to? You know how much subsidies this guy's got? He audited himself. So it just never ended. Trump kept going. Then he got rid of all the DI shit. White women were mad as hell. White women were mad. That's why they went to King's March. All the white women lost jobs. You keep talking about how many jobs black women were lost. What about the white women? Who do you think were overseeing the DEI programs? Wasn't black guys. What a bunch of Quintons and Leroys, D-Rays and Andres running that shit. That was white women. Amber and Becky and Rachel, Raquel, Brittany, Sandy. So yeah, man, what it's come down to now, fam, is desperation. Desperation. You left the Democrats with nothing else to do. You left them in the bear trap, and you gave them a knife, and you just left them there with a pocket knife in the bear trap. And they cut off their hand. They cut off their arm to get out the trap, and now it's on. What they got to lose is like, the hell with it. All bets off. You want to hurt us? Democrats turned to Al Pacino. Let me get this right. You come for me. I come for you. Huh? You want to mix it up? Huh? You want some of me? Democrats don't care at this point. They're crazy. Crazier than my eyes. They're crazy. All over the place. That's what's happening, Johnson. So, look, man, I hope this shutdown ends quickly. Real talk. I hope it ends quickly because this is bad. This is not a talking point. No one wins. Certainly not Trump. Yeah, Trump has an agenda, and he's been executing on that agenda. He didn't give a damn. But what he did not prepare for is, if you beat somebody so long and so hard for so long, they get to a point where the punches no longer hurt. It's just numb. You ever get numb and you can't even feel it? That's what the Democrats are. They're like, we're already at the bottom. There is no more bottom to go. There's no bottomer. So take this shutdown. You're in charge, so it looks like it's your fault, even if it ain't. And we're just going to ride this shit out. They're playing chicken. Without chickens, because people can't afford the chickens. They are playing chicken, fam. This is where we are. I want it to end because this is not about politics, man. This is about families. That's what this is about. You know, I never expected Trump to be this crazy. Yeah. I didn't. I remember when people tried to tell me, Tim Black, look at Project 2025. I'm like, I don't read that shit. I looked at it. I skimmed it. Things are always bad for black people. What's new? What? Shit, it's even worse. Y'all did yourself there, Trumpy. But at the end of the day, Johnson, no reporting, no amount of reporting would have changed anything that happened with Trump. And now we're at a point where we got a president with an agenda. We got a protest party that can do nothing but protest, led by a black woman who likes to drop F-bombs by the name of Jasmine Crockett. What could go wrong? All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get into it. This is the Tim Black Show. We are about to do the news. Hit the like button, get us in the algorithm. Let the algorithm know that you're watching the Tim Black Show. This is the realest show, the realest night show in politics on the goddamn internet. Nobody does it like we do it here. Give it up for that. Let's jump into some clips, fam. What do we got, Tim Black?
Next on deck. With Tim Black.
Gold gym! Men! Grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know.
I had to watch this a couple of times to like catch what she is saying. Because for a minute there, I thought she was promoting herself. I'm just keeping it real, man. It took me a minute to realize she's talking about somebody else. She is a she. And what she just saw, well, you'll get it. Oh, I'm sorry. Parental discretion is advised. This is real shit. It's a real video, okay? This is not AI.
The fuck? Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room. I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America. We're like...
Yeah, when I saw this clip, the first clip I saw, they were never all together. So initially I found this clip, and then the first clip, then I found this that has a picture of this trans person. Okay, so keep watching.
Trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there. In boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic, and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now. And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, If you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
How are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm asking you a fucking question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay. I understand. I'm not quoting
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS.
You know, I saw this video just in time because I tell you, just last night, we had a show here on the Tim Black Show, and a segment, I should say, and I was starting to feel like this issue was like, why are they still bringing this up? I mean, I agree it's wrong. It is wrong to subject women to being exposed to men in places where men should not be. I don't give a shit about you trying to run for office, but you cannot subject women to that. As a dad, I got a real problem with it. So, but I was like, you know, it's like when candidates are running against each other, there's a race in Virginia right now where neither candidate strikes me as being amazing or even great or even really good. And it's like the Republicans are trying to make the candidate or the election hinge on the Democrat who won't say, you know, who would not speak out about some shit like this. That's what they're kind of trying to turn the tide with. It's not working, and I don't think it should until I saw this video. Yeah, until I saw this video. Because I can't, like, I wanted to be like, you know what, there's other things that are more important. There are other things that are more important than this issue. But if that's my child, that's all I care about. If the woman in that video is my daughter, that's all I care about, is that moment right there. And I'd say, fuck your party and your plans that you don't care about the privacy and the person, the individual rights of all those women in the Gold's Gym. All those women have a right not to be infringed upon. You don't do that for one person. Like, what if I just want to be considered, like, what if I just want to be butt naked and just walk around? I can't just do whatever I want to do in society. I can do that in the privacy of my own home, but I can't just walk around as, hi, because why? Because we have a society, we have rules. And one individual can't impose their will upon everybody else. So I wanted to be of the opinion, fam, for real, that I'm not going to be played. I'm not going to be played by this issue. I'm not going to sit here and allow myself to be roped into this debate about say what you know what a woman is, you know what a woman is. Well, I know what food stamps are. I know what jobs are. I know what housing vouchers are. I know what incubators for entrepreneurs, and I know about investment in communities, and I know what home appraisals, and I know about all this other shit that I care a lot about too. But, family, if you're a Democrat and you can't get this right, if you're a Democrat who cannot see the idiocy in doing this, it is worse than idiocy. It's lack of compassion, lack of empathy at all for Black women, lack of the sanctity of privacy, personal space. Not to mention, as the woman pointed out, what about all the women who've had trauma in their lives? What about women who are still battling those demons, who are subjected to being exposed or having their bodies exposed without their permission to somebody with junk? And if you're a Democrat and you can't see that that is wrong, and every bit of that is wrong, and you're already riding with it, you're riding with it anyway because it's your party, and your party has decided not to give a shit about women's rights, not to care about my children's, my daughter's rights when they go in the bathroom at a restaurant? It's not just gyms. It's everywhere. It's not just girls' sports. It's every bathroom in America. And when you start looking at it like that, though, like I said, there's other things, fam. There's other things I care about. But I gotta say, if you can't get this right, who knows what else you'll get wrong? And I don't like what some Sears, whatever her name is. I'm not inclined to like that Republican lady. Okay? But I'm not inclined to like the Spanberger lady, who's the Democrat who's running, who cannot see the irresponsibility, the lack of intelligence, the lack of proper respect of other people's space and just common decency. And you would rather be wrong, but be in line with your party. That shows when there's another issue that's important. You'll probably do the same shit. Because if you will, so they'll talk about Trump. Oh, these people won't stand up to Trump. They won't tell Trump. All these Republicans won't stand up to Trump. Trump's doing this. He's riding over it. I keep hearing them all say that. From Van Lathan to Tiffany Cross to Bakari Sellers. Yeah, I'm back there. I'm talking that shit. They're all saying it on every show they go on, right? Abby Phillip, all of you are saying it. But what about the Democrats who won't buck their own party on this shit? Abby Phillip, you're a smart lady with a baby, with a husband. I saw the pictures recently. Not very recently, but I saw you had a child. You don't want your daughter exposed to that. And if you say you don't care, I doubt it. I doubt you're being honest. So I think it says something about that party that's deeply wrong. I don't know what private donor has an unending lake of money for them to swim in where they will be willing to throw their constituents under the bus. All I can do is speak for myself and say, that shit right there crystallized just how pathetic the Democratic Party is and how anyone who cannot sympathize with those women at Gold's Gym who don't see their point of the argument is give those women more weight than that one guy who is still a guy because he still got that, could have just walked his ass into the men's room. Could have just walked his ass into the men's room. But instead of being realistic and honest, or he could just change in the car. Why not just change in the car, Johnson? Change your gear in the car. Shower when you get home. Problem solved. Why come that one person can't be inconvenienced and save us all the rest? And the kicker is, she said they yanked her membership for being loud because she was too loudly protesting being violated. Make that make sense. Folks, put it in the comment section what you think about this one. I think it's clear. The Democrats have lost their goddamn minds. And anybody who can't see through this problem for what it is and be on the right side of it, I wouldn't trust them. I'm not telling Virginia to vote. I'm not telling you to vote Republican. I'm just saying. I'd understand if you don't vote for Spanberger or anybody or any other Democrat who could be honest enough with themselves and stand on their own 10 toes down on their square and be a real human being and stop being a fucking robot for the Democratic Party. That's what you got to be not to understand this. Because you get it. That's the worst. Ain't that the worst thing when they gaslight you? They get what you're saying. They understand the argument. They understand the craziness. But it's something, it's the control. So they want to talk about Trump's control over the Republicans. What about the Democrats' control over you, Democrats? It's like driving a car with your feet and arguing Well, we should be able to do it. It's gonna kill people, but it's my feet. What about all the people walking down the street? What about all the drivers on the road next to you? What about them? This is America. We care about the individual feet of the person who wants to do the dumb shit they want to do. All types of people want to do all types of things. They can't. Not all things are to be done. That's all I'm saying. And men going to the women's rooms is just one of them. Tomorrow, we'll work on letters, the importance of not putting sharp metal objects into wall outlets, and other basics, pot holders with cast iron pans that are hot on the stove. We'll work on that next week. We don't want to throw too much at you, Democrats. Working our way up. All right, let's keep going, fam. Hit the like button if you thought that was an interesting take. That's something you're going to find on CNN. I can tell you that shit. MSNBC, Jake Tapper's not going to, bring down the house on this topic. Where are we at here?
Detector. Next on deck with Tim Black.
I understand, but the decision to not fund the government means very real pain caused today. People not getting paychecks today and SNAP funds today. And then obviously at airports across the country, delays are getting worse due to air traffic controller shortages. The FAA says that in the New York area, nearly 90% of air traffic controllers are out. The White House says that Thanksgiving travel could be a disaster if this shutdown continues that long. Are Democrats prepared to keep the government closed through Thanksgiving if it comes to that?
The question is, why are Republicans continuing to keep the government shut down? They have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Donald Trump just made clear over the weekend repeatedly that Republicans have the ability to reopen this government. They don't want to do it because they'd rather continue to gut the health care of the American people. And here are some questions that need to be asked. Why have House Republicans remained on a taxpayer-funded vacation for the last 6 weeks? They keep canceling votes. They've canceled votes for next week. Of course, they are unserious as it relates to reopening the government. Why has Donald Trump spent more time on the golf course, including this weekend, than he has in talking to Democrats on Capitol Hill who represent half of the country? It's because apparently Donald Trump is uninterested in reopening the government. He doesn't want to stand up for hardworking federal employees. They fired more than 200,000 federal employees prior to them shutting the government down on October 1st. And why are Republicans so unwilling to even sit down and have a conversation with their Democratic colleagues on Capitol Hill in order to find a bipartisan path forward? It's because they are trying to inflict this cruelty on the American people. And Jake, this is a group of folks who passed their one big ugly bill, largest cut to Medicaid in American history. At the same time, they cut $186 billion from SNAP, literally ripped food out of the mouths of hungry children, seniors, and veterans. They did this in July, and that was done so they could reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks that they made permanent. And now they're unwilling to extend tax credits for working class Americans.
So you alluded—
It's all unacceptable, and it's obviously part of their plan.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
That's the other side of the argument, Johnson. That's what Hakeem Jeffries said. Now, some people say this is not the true story. I've been getting, I get inundated, so I guess I got to find the other clips where the response to that is that it's the Democrats actually won't continue the resolution. Democrats say, all right, well, if you wouldn't have had these cuts in, we would have signed a resolution. We won't sign a continuing resolution because you want to have these cuts in these various programs. But it's the same resolution that you signed before, so you're not signing it now. And I think it's the Democrats trying to prove a point here. I don't know if I can find a clip of it right now on the break, but I will try. I will try, Johnson. I will try. Jesus Christ. Um, 42 million people on weekly food stamps, 42 million. And they're saying not even majority of those people are not American citizens. I don't have the data on that. You know what? Let's hear this guy out. I think this guy might be on the level here. This is known as this is supposed to be a more comprehensive look at it, because of course Republicans are going to spin, the Democrats are going to spin. So let's see if we can find something where the spin is not so firmly in. Okay, so just bear with me. We're going to download this real quick. I think I've seen this video. This might be a good representation of the entire view of it, just to try to keep it, Let's see what we got here. Let's try this.
All right, so here's an explosive update on the government shutdown is what I'm hearing, right? So it's not what you're being told. That's all I got to say. The headlines say it's about healthcare and rising premiums. You've heard it all, right? And then Democrats are saying that Trump wants to raise the cost of Obamacare. Well, it's not that he wants to. That's not the full picture. Here's what's actually going on. So when Obamacare, which, as you know, is the Affordable Care Act, first came in, it made health insurance mandatory. But after COVID, President Biden signed new legislation that temporarily expanded subsidies, basically tax credits, to make health insurance cheaper for Americans. Now, these weren't just discounts. And here's how it worked. It's pretty scary to think about it. The Department of the Treasury sent the difference in cash directly to the insurance companies. So if your premium was, let's say, $600 a month, and the new plan lowered it to $400, the government literally paid the $200 difference straight to your insurer. That's billions of tax dollars going out every single month directly to private insurance companies. Those enhanced subsidies expire on the 31st of January or 31st of December 2025, and starting in January, that money stops. And when it stops, premiums go back up fast. Millions of Americans will suddenly see their costs go up by 20 or 30% or more. So we got to do something. So why is Washington gridlocked? Well, because those subsidies aren't just helping you. They're a cash pipeline for the insurance industry. And there it is. It's also free money for illegals' health insurance. Boom, there it was. And when that pipeline closes, the insurance companies lose billions of free money. That's why the Democrats are filibustering and refusing to move forward. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for the companies funding their re-election campaigns and the illegals who they hope will vote for them. Insurance companies, pharmaceutical giants, corporate donors, the groups that pump millions into campaign coffers every cycle is who we're talking about. They're telling the politicians, you either extend this program or we're going to fund your opponent next election. And that's exactly what's happening. The Democrats are shuffling. So the government stays shut down. The American people get held hostage, and the money keeps flowing. Not to you, but to the middlemen. So let's call it what it is. This shutdown isn't about protecting Americans. It's about protecting a cash pipeline from the U.S. Treasury straight into the private corporations and a new voter bloc for the Democrats. And until we break that loop, until citizens start leading, not career politicians protecting their donors, nothing changes. That's the citizen leadership I always keep talking about. Focusing on what's real, following the money and demanding accountability, not headlines. Because the truth is simple. If you're paying the bill, then you deserve to know where your money actually goes. Wouldn't you agree?
See how I did that on the win for you? Like I said before, folks, I'm sorry about that. Like I said before, this is the best video I've seen so far on this topic. And I'm glad we were able to find it on a whim there, because that's it. His name is Stephen Goon Kuhn. Stephen Kuhn. Kuhn. On TikTok, folks. So go find him and follow him. All right? Let's keep this going. Oops, let's see what we got here. Might have to find our place in the video rotation, because I added that
Next
video on
deck with Tim Black.
Yeah.
Things, and I don't explain that shit. And the woman told you.
Delays are getting worse due to air traffic controller shortages. Are Democrats prepared to keep
people? And here are some questions that need interested in reopening the government. He doesn't want to stand up for hardworking federal employees. They fired more than 200,000 federal employees prior to them shutting the government down on October 1st. And why are Republicans so unwilling to even sit down and have a conversation with their...
When you think about it, Jake Tapper has to know what that man knows about the subsidies. They're all playing ball, Johnson. They're all still playing ball. You talk tough, like they're going to hold the, CNN's been trying to make this play. They're trying to telegraph that they're going to be tougher on the Democrats under the Trump regime, but they're not telling the truth about the subsidies. That's the real ticket behind this thing.
Democratic colleagues on Capitol Hill in order to find a bipartisan path forward. It's because they are trying to inflict this cruelty on the American people. And Jake, this is a group of folks who passed their one big ugly bill, largest cut to Medicaid in American history. At the same time, they cut $186 billion from SNAP, literally ripped food out of the mouths of hungry children, seniors, and veterans. They did this in July, and that was done so they could reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks that they made permanent. And now they're unwilling to extend tax credits for working class Americans.
So you alluded...
It's all unacceptable, and it's obviously part of their plan.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Here we go.
I want people to feel safe in New York City. I want my wife to feel safe. My wife is a tough broad. She doesn't feel safe in Midtown Manhattan during the day.
Really?
Yeah. And my wife,
really,
she's
like,
not.
You're like going out for lunch?
I'm not saying she's like fucking shaking in her boots, but my wife in the last 2-3 years has been groped in Times Square, has had a fucking shoe thrown at her, has been called the N-word, and got proposed to on the train by a homeless person, all between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And when my wife got touched in the middle of the day coming out of a play, I'm not happy with that. And it was by like a homeless person. Like, I don't care that you're homeless. Don't touch my fucking wife. You know what I mean? And it bothered me so deeply that this happened to her and that she's got a shoe thrown at her.
Why a shoe?
Because a crazy person.
Just crazy.
Crazy. But when you touch my wife and my wife is violated, I get to thinking, I'm sorry that you're mentally ill. I'm sorry that whatever you're on and wherever it got you to this place, but you're touching my wife at 3 p.m. on 47th and 6th. I want this person put the fuck away forever. Period. And there's other women in New York City that also feel uncomfortable and unsafe. And we're not talking about in the boroughs. I'm talking about in Midtown Manhattan and downtown Manhattan. It's not cool for women to feel uncomfortable during the daytime in the greatest city on earth. It's also not cool that under any circumstances you could touch a police officer, not be from this country, come out the next day and walk out of the court like fucking Tupac, like those guys did when they jumped, like fucking giving the middle finger to photographers. Like, if you touch a policeman and you're not from the country, bye. Get the fuck out of here. and I'm not one of these people who, I know the police are not perfect, but if you touch a policeman, you should be in prison, period. You shouldn't be able to walk out of jail going, fuck, like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck. And this shit's been going on in New York City. But this thing with women not feeling comfortable in Manhattan during the day, not down with that shit. It really deeply bothered me that happened to my wife. And like I said, she's not some laissez-faire, like head in the, she looks out for me more in the street. So like, I was like, nope. And I'm comfortable saying, put him under the fucking jail and he should never come out. Because God forbid he comes out and does something worse.
Next on deck.
Yo, man, we good. Volume's good. Look, guys. Michael Rappaport. I remember when Michael Rappaport had more insanity. Then he like lost his mind. It was like, he was just like, wherever the wind blew, that's where he was, like mentally, it seems. When it was time to hate Trump, he really hated Trump. And then as soon as it became time that it was more advantageous to not hate him, he stopped. Craziest thing in the world, man. Craziest thing in the world. Yeah. But this, I gotta agree with him. I gotta agree that if your wife gets attacked, all bets are off. Yeah. I think that's how most of us feel. But there's also a thing to be said about, okay, so what do we do about it? What do you do about homeless people in New York? Are you thinking Cuomo's the answer for that? Or do you think Mayor Donnie has a better plan for it? Who's really going to address it? I was thinking about this the other day when I was looking at the race, looking at people talking about the issues, and people have resorted to calling, Mayor Donnie a terrorist and all this type of stuff. I'm just wondering, like, what's going to be the real impact of this Muriel race? I thought about Daniel Penny. I thought about Jordan Neely, who lost his life on the subway train. I thought about the woman that was burned to death on the subway train. And I was thinking, like, what do you do to fix these things? If Jordan Neely had been in the program that he should have been in, he wouldn't have been on the streets. He was homeless, begging for food, aggressively begging for food. Oh no. And so Daniel Penny felt it was his job to kill him. And people were so desensitized or so tired of homeless people being on subways that they felt like, well, sometimes people die when you choke them. It shouldn't be annoying. Which means they don't see homeless people as human beings. It didn't help that he was black as well. That helps a lot, to not see you as a human being. But then the lady who was burnt by the immigrants, I'm not saying I saw a bunch of progressives forgiving it, but I also didn't hear a lot of talk about how horrible and these people need to go to jail forever. Like I just didn't hear the right amount, I thought the right amount of outrage over a woman being burnt alive on a subway train. It just seemed like it came and went. How's a story like that just come and go? It's just crazy. I don't know. So I don't know what the resolution of it is. I hear Michael Rappaport and I agree. All bets are off for someone that attacks your loved one. I don't care if it's your child or your wife or your sister or your mom. Like, all of us. And look, and I never had a problem. For the record, if Daniel Penny would have caught Jordan Neely attacking people, like laying hands on people, groping women, then I would have felt different. It was just that Jordan Neely didn't touch anybody that day. You can't justify killing someone for something they did that you never saw them do. You can't for words. Words are not enough to kill somebody. You should not be able to kill somebody because they said some things. People say shit all the time. people threaten my life online all the time. And what do they tell me? They can't do anything. Authorities can't do anything unless they do an overt act to do it. That's for me. But the Marine can and get to go to the game with Donald Trump. And he got an appointment to some company because you can do it if you're Daniel Penny, the former Marine guy. So anyway, kind of weird, kind of off base. Back to the point. Michael Rappaport makes sense here. But what's the solution? The solution, throw people in jail forever is not a solution. The solution is, back when Ronald Reagan opened the gates of all the mental institutions, basically, I know folks at the St. Elizabeth's downtown here in D.C., in Southeast D.C., where the funding was changed, we start seeing people just open the doors and sent the zombies out. Like, that's not good for the public, nor is it good for the people that are sent out there, because they can't take care of themselves. They are unwell. No one asks to have mental health problems. That's the part you're leaving out, Michael Rappaport. No one goes, ooh, I can't wait to be out of my mind. This will be fun. People that are out of their mind don't know they're out of their mind, Michael. So the solution that's going to make your wife safer is probably going to be a hybrid mix of police presence, but also services that deal with these issues. Not just go and lock everybody up forever. America does a lot of that. And we still got the problem we have. We're already the #1 incarcerator. I mean, we already set record numbers. We lock up more people than any other country in the westernized world, Michael Rappaport. It's not having the effect you want it to have. So if the effect you want is safer streets, that's not working. I'm not saying stop doing it, saying it needs other things done as well. That's what I'm saying. And as we get older, as we mature, we learn that you can't use a hammer for everything. There's a reason there's a screwdriver there. It's screwing things in. It holds better than just using a hammer and banging it, or using, and that hammer is the justice system. That hammer is cops. And it's not even good for cops. That's why cops shoot people that are mentally unstable, because they don't know how to handle them either. And only thing they got is a taser and a hammer. And they tend to use the hammer. And that's why a lot of people call it a hammer. Get it? A lot of people call guns hammers, because it's hitting the nail. Anyway, look, that's all I'm saying. Interesting conversation. Michael Rappaport, you sound more sane than you usually do. Good job. Stop being such a wacky Zionist. How about doing that? How about stop doing that? That'd be good. But I can't say I can say I understand what you're saying. I hope your story's true, because I also think you're full of shit a lot. But I'm sure I'd be livid too. You know, I saw, related but kind of off topic, I saw Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. He was asked a question like this about undocumented people. What would he do if his wife got attacked? Because there was a woman attacked in Chicago who was slammed to the ground and assaulted by an undocumented person. And Brandon's idea is that we don't need to send these people to jail. And he's like, what would you do if it was your wife? And people are like, Tim, that's a good question. Yeah, I get it. It's just, I don't like, as a husband and as a dad, I don't like saying those types of things, like, because that shit can happen. Like, I would not say, how would you like it if it was your wife? Your wife was taken and someone beat her upside the head and took her, did these. Like, I don't even like uttering those types of things, because that happens to someone like every 20 minutes probably in America. And I know I wouldn't want that to come out my mouth as like a threat or something to say. It's not that I think Brandon Johnson should have to think and put himself in other people's shoes. He should. He should do that without even being prompted. That's not the point. My point was, I don't feel comfortable saying that to you or to anyone else because that shit could happen tomorrow. All right? I don't want that on my conscience. That's just me, man. I still have residual trauma from losing my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So bad things happen to people, you know? Bad things happen to people. Now, anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Let's keep it moving, guys. Hit the like button if that makes sense. What do you think about Michael Rappaport and his story about his wife being attacked in Midtown Manhattan? I don't know. During the day, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., Jesus Christ, that's high traffic time. These people must have mental issues. They don't care if they go to jail. Yeah, I don't know if you can police your way out of this. Obviously, when you're doing something at 11 a.m., you ain't trying to hide it. Because if you were trying to hide it, you wait till 11 p.m., wouldn't you? All right. Hang in there, guys. We ain't got much longer. Let's go.
With Tim Black.
The Trump family has made about $1.8 billion profited off of this government. And he said that Joe Biden didn't know who he was pardoning using an auto pen. How come he don't know who this guy is?
Because he used an auto pen. Meetings with the judge, the meetings that they're supposed to go to when they're listening to what the hell, what?
I love when Sonny passes notes.
We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to part. It was a joke.
Yes. We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to pardon.
Come on.
But we do know that he didn't know who that crypto guy was.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, the hardest thing about this job now is no one understands nuance. You know when you hear a joke, when somebody's fooling around, when they're not saying something specific, especially on this show. I'm very specific when I'm pointing stuff out. When I'm making jokes, you know when I'm making jokes. This is ridiculous. Anywho, the other thing that really upsets me about all of this.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
You know, Whoopi Goldberg was just making a point that she didn't understand, why people didn't understand when she's joking. It sounded to me like you weren't joking, Whoopi. I couldn't tell you were joking. I can't tell when you're being real or honest or whatever you're doing here. Here goes something, Whoopi. You said the hardest part of your job are these notes they pass you every once in a while when you say some shit that could get them sued to hell. I thought the hardest part of your job is cashing your $8 million check. Whoopi, not for nothing. I think for $8 million, you could pass me notes. Yeah, there could be notes with pictures of them. Yeah, fine. Rude pictures. I'd be offended and insulted, but I'd be okay as long as the check was going to hit the account. Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, $8 million a year, Whoopi. I don't. You know, this reeks of the Michelle Obama video I just did. And for some reason, man, where are my people that have no problems calling out Michelle Obama? What happened to my people, man? Look, man, I need everybody that's watching this show that are my usual audience to hit notifications, all notifications. I got people that will follow me now that I can't relate to them. I don't know what's going on. You know, Michelle Obama right now is complaining about how hard it was to be the black first lady. And like, do you realize presidents are powerful as fuck? Like, they're the most powerful people in America. It's all the things they can do. No, it's like, and being a first lady, you're not even accountable for anything. You can do like pretty much anything you want to do. You know, and I got to hear that. And here goes Whoopi, same lane, same line. Whoopi is rich as a motherfucker. And all she got to do is not go after the one guy that sues everybody. And that shit, and the comment wasn't even funny. And it's like bending over backwards. It's like she's got to juggle, you know, knives with fire shooting out of them. Just to not accuse him of shit that you can't prove. That's all you got to do. You get $8 million and all you got to do is shut the fuck up about Trump because he will sue you. But no, that's too much to ask. Whoopi, I'd shut the fuck up accusing Trump of stuff for a lot less than $8 million. I'd do it for $1 million. Yeah. In fact, you shouldn't accuse people of shit you can't prove for no amount of money. There should be any amount of money that needs to be taken or given for you to do actual work that doesn't involve, saying shit that ain't true. If you know it's not true. And you don't know anything about auto pin if he did the auto pin on the crypto guy. You don't know. You're just saying shit. And that's part of the problem. The View, part of the problem, part of what's wrong in our media, one of the problems is Trump suing everybody. But the other problem with the media is that The View is still on. Yeah, The View's still on. And that The View still is fooling a bunch of old baby boomers. It's like the Breakfast Club for old people. And it doesn't even have a LaRosa. It's like, what the hell is this? So yeah, that's my problem. My problem with the segment. And that's not even counting all the other monies you make, Whoopi. I mean, you make money, you write stuff, you do stuff, why not just shut up? Anyway, guys, that's my take on it. I don't know, maybe you guys got a different opinion of it. That's how I see it. Not that hard to do. Not hard to accuse the president of the United States of things that are unfounded, trying to be funny. And like I said, it wasn't even worth it. Next. We good, fam? Yep, like Oprah, entitled. I mean, they don't want to, the people, for them to be able to pay you, Whoopi, they got to still have some money left. They can't give it all to Trump because you want to make an unfunny joke. Okay? That's, he's got people watching you going, up, lawsuit time. You know it. So just shut up. That's it. It's not that hard to do. You do it when you sleep. Do it when you're on the show. When you're thinking, ooh, I want to say something stupid about Trump. Yeah, choose door number 2 and shut the fuck up and keep your $8 million and don't bankrupt your show. Easiest money. Easiest money you made all month. Ain't that hard to do, man. I shut up all the time. All right, let's keep going, y'all.
Democratic primary voters, 16% would support Buttigieg. That's the highest of any candidate. Pete Buttigieg.
I don't believe it. I think that's just a poll number. I can't see that happening.
Well, okay, but wait. 16%. Black voters, 0. 0. You don't usually see 0 anywhere. 0's low.
For who? What is this?
For Buttigieg. Explain that. I mean, why do black voters have this? I mean, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's under-indexing a little bit with black voters, yeah.
A little. What is that all about?
He doesn't move us. I respect the man. I've interviewed him before. Very nice man, highly intelligent. But you gotta be able to move us, bruh. He doesn't move us. Well, you can speculate as to why that is. I'm not going there. He doesn't move us.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah. You're not moving, Zon. So here goes. Pete Buttigieg is uninteresting. And all these other things. And that's all very true. But you know what? I love this segment. This is an older clip. I think it came out a couple months ago. But what's really great about this clip is I would love to use it to talk to my Vote Blue Anywho's. Yeah, Vote Blue Anywho black people. See, black people don't like Pete Buttigieg, but your party does. That's because the Democratic Party is not your party, goofy. 16% of the Democratic Party likes Pete Buttigieg, but he's at 0% with black voters. What does that tell you? about the Democratic Party? What's it tell you? It tells you I'm right. You're walking around with the fallacy that you had a party when you don't. The Democratic Party is a white party, just like the Republican Party is a white party. It's a white party. They're both white parties. The Green Party is a white party. We got a bunch of white parties. I know they had a Jamu Baraka. That's my guy. White party. White party. White party. All of them white. That other party, that little midget, weird leprechaun dude tried to start, that Dr. Cornell was with for like 2 seconds, white party. Very white party. Yeah, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough to count when the deal is done. And you also got to remember that the Democratic Party is a very white party. These are things you got to know. You got to let that sink into your heads and get it. Stephen A. Smith may have been wrong about the reasons why he criticized Jasmine Crockett. She was not above criticism. For some reason, I ended up with people getting my notifications that disagree. Yeah, they think you should not be able to criticize Jasmine Crockett. I don't know where these people came from, man. Ever since I did the Charlie Kirk video, I got some black people that I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they came from. I lost my people, man. I'm frustrated. I'm fucking frustrated, y'all. I got these people. When I criticize the usual suspects, they don't want to see it. It's going to take another 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm in purgatory. I'm having to deal with this. I'm having to deal with the fallout of doing well for a month. That sucks. I thought when you do well, you're supposed to ride it and be great. Yay! I did well. I had 2 videos that went viral. Instead, I get punished. I get people that think that Jasmine Crockett's calling Trump an asshole is the greatest thing that happened to black people in the last 20 years since Obama was elected. Yeah, isn't that crazy? How'd I end up with people like that? We have nothing in common. Stephen A. Smith is a jackass. I used to have people that saw through Stephen A. Smith as a self-serving loudmouth who was right sometimes. But now I got people that can't stand him, they hate his guts and think he's the problem, and they think Jasmine Crockett is the savior. This is not the way, this shit ain't right. Both of them are wrong. So, Stephen A. Smith, you're right about this. Nobody wants Pete Buttigieg, except for Democrats. And Democrats, the party that you been rushing back to, trying to hide behind, trying to run back to and kiss their ass when you say something they don't like, is you try to reach over and grab some relevancy with the conservatives, but then you want to dodge back and swing back and swing it, baby. Swing it, baby. You making us dizzy. I've invited Stephen A. Swift on the show. Stephen A. Swift. I invited Stephen A. Smith on this show to discuss these things. For some reason, we can't seem to get our schedules to line up. My schedule's open. I'm open for business, baby. Let's go. Come on over. We can talk about politics. We can go there and call this shit out for what it is. All right, Tim Black's Wolfpack, do your thing. Make it happen. Let's get this out to the masses. Let's get Stephen A. Smith on the Tim Black Show. We're long overdue. We need to have this conversation. I agree big time about Pete Buttigieg. Democrats been trying to force Pete Buttigieg down our throats. And Black America is not accepting it. Black America does not agree. We like Pete Buttigieg. We're not moved by him. I'll accept that. I accept that analogy. He's as interesting as beige painting and apartment painting, that color carpet matching the walls, that shit. Nobody wants that. We're way past that, aren't we? Yeah. Let's keep going, guys. Let me know what you think about this segment of Stephen A. Smith yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. If the Democrats are counting on Pete Buttigieg to get them out of the ditch, they might as well get comfortable. They're going to stay in the ditch, Johnson.
Go! Go!
Okay, so I looked this up. I was wondering, is this real? It says a New York Town official who shot a lost black DoorDash driver in the back, nearly killed him after he asked for directions, has been indicted. His wife was caught deleting 17 ring videos to try to cover up the shooting. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can get confirmation on this one. I saw it just before going live, and I thought this was an interesting video. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. But I do know he got indicted if this is true. And he's a superintendent, they say, of a highway superintendent. I don't know what that is. But if someone's in their car leaving, he stopped for directions. He was lost. His GPS stopped working. And he just ran. He's like, hey, he just needed help. He's trying to find a place or whatever. I don't know. And I guess he being black and being outside on people's property was not good. I don't know. But, you know, I've covered stories like this in the past. This actually happens more frequently than people would imagine. There was a group of teenagers going to a party who got lost and took a wrong turn and ended up on the wrong property. And driving away, white guy shot into the car and killed one of the girls. So this happens, Johnson. I don't know how often it happens, but more than it happens more than it should. I think sometimes people got guns, they don't need them. I mean, they think they need them, but really they're not stable enough, because if someone's in their car driving the fuck away, you really don't have you really have no legal reason why you should be shooting your gun at people that are leaving. In this case, the guy's doing what you wanted to do, which is leave, and you still shot him. You shot him in the back. So go to jail forever. That's it. Made a young man who was shot, if this is a real story, made a young man that was shot recover fully and get all the money he can out of this person. Made this person and his family lose all the money that they have. Made that shitty house be liquidated. Yeah, man, when you go outside and you shoot an unarmed person in the back who's leaving, yeah, maybe you should lose everything. Starting with your freedom. And instead of just deleting the videos, wifey, delete your marriage certificate. Yeah, delete that too. What do you guys think? I don't know, man. Times of India, isn't that kind of like a bogus, like, I don't know, man. Times of India is like right up there with Daily Mail, with trusting. So I could be like saying all this for nothing because they could be full of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I could not, it is what it is. I thought the interesting story I shared with you is the last story of the night. Any thoughts? Any thoughts, Tim Black's Wolfpack? Oh, that term tether is funny, man. He's a tether. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I see a goofy in my comment section. How about this guy here? The whole point of Danny Collins is the auto pit issue is the accusation that Biden didn't know who he was, pardoning without proof. Turnabout is fair play. Tim is a Trump supporter. You know what Danny Collins is? Danny Collins is an accusing asshole. That's who Danny Collins is. Danny, I don't give a fuck what she was trying to say. She has no proof of anything. Thus, she's putting her network in jeopardy. Whoopi Goldberg makes $8 million a year, sir. And if her network doesn't want her to say that, she probably shouldn't say it. That's the point of the segment. I don't give a fuck what she was saying or why she was saying it. That doesn't make me a Trump supporter. That makes me a person who thinks Whoopi's a hack and dumb enough to think that simple rules that she got to follow to keep that shit program that I don't like on the air, she didn't have to follow. But she does have to follow them. If she wants to be independent media and say whatever shit she wants to say because she's too small to sue, she should do that. But as long as she's getting paychecks, from The View to mislead a bunch of old black people and old white people every day, and obviously people like yourself, Danny, maybe she should shut the fuck up. That doesn't make me a Trump supporter, bitch. That makes me somebody who has an opinion. I never tell anybody to vote Trump. I never tell anybody to vote blue. What I tell black America is stop giving your fucking vote to a party that don't give a shit about you without an ask. Make demands. Make demands of the Democrats. Don't just give them your vote because you scared of Orange Man. Black people been giving their votes to the Democrats every election cycle without demands. Way before Trump walked up. No, what you are is you're a dick. And you shouldn't be on my channel. You should not be here. But you are here. You are here accusing me of being a Trump supporter because you're a moron, vote blue anywho. Because only a vote blue anywho would deduce that I'm trying to say, defend Trump. That's not what I'm doing, dumbass. I'm saying Whoopi, who you're defending, as if you know her, which you don't. Whoopi's an asshole, and she's making a big mistake, and her network told her that. If you want to be upset with somebody, be upset with a network. I didn't slide her the note. The network did. I just reported on it, dumbass. All you Democrats are the same. You just complain about dumb shit. No, it's possible for people not to like either party. The motto of this channel was both parties suck. Both parties suck. That's been the motto of this channel since 2015. I know it doesn't jive with you because you appear to be of the baby boomer generation that believes the Democrats mean us well. And that's the most gullible, unhelpful position for a black man to take. You probably pee sitting down too, don't you? That's if your colon still works. A bunch of estrogen-loaded, lame-ass old black dudes who follow behind their women instead of leading their women out of the burning building, which is the Democratic Party. And you can vote Democrat, but only with an ask, with a demand. Now, what really needs to happen is people with backbone like myself need to lead a movement for us to move and create new parties. Because black people have not been successful following the Democratic Party for the last 50 years. It hasn't netted us the gains that the Latino communities, the Asian communities, and the white communities have enjoyed. We have enjoyed the least amount of growth of those groups. So that's what you should take away from the Tim Black Show. Also, go fuck yourself. Take that with you too. Okay? We good? You understand where we coming from? All right. Tell a friend. All right, Johnson. My name is Tim Black. Be here. Oh, nice. This is fun. Okay, guys. That's it. That's all I got. I'll see you here. Today is what, Tuesday? Now, we'll be back Wednesday. Then we'll be back Friday. Be here Wednesday for a new Tim Black Show. We are the most dangerous politics night show. The most dangerous nighttime politics show in America. Be here for it. I'll see you soon. Remember, like I always say, don't let anybody take your cornbread, Johnson. Don't do it. Don't let them take your cornbread, Johnson. Now, for me, I got lots of reasons for doing what I do. Obviously, the vote blue anywho assholes, they got reasons for doing what they do too. It's called being a dumbass. My reasons for doing what I do are these beautiful ladies of mine. These beautiful ladies are my reasons. Where are my ladies? I said, where are my ladies?
Now, there you go. I can wait till it's my